few people have been asking how the 2019 trike is doing. I'd done the 1,000-mile review just a week or two prior to coming up to Newfoundland on it, and it's been doing great. There's a bunch of stuff I'd done right before we left. One was to finish up all the suspension testing and put the 14-inch Trike Series shocks on, which has been a real lifesaver up here. Some of the roads are pretty bad, and we were getting beat to death on the good roads back in mainland USA. So up here, if we would have still had that stock suspension on, even with the comfort lift improved it a lot, as you can see in the video linked below. But still, the 14-inch shocks have really rounded off all the jolts. Even the worst potholes up here are rounded rather than a sharp jolt. Here's a trike, two trikes. So it's been doing well. Have the oil cooler on it, have the oil filter relocation on it, have the stage 1 air cleaner on it, a 606 chrome spoke, same as we had on the 2014. Have the premium discreet breather on it. I noticed the other day, I thought it was dripping oil, which was a little surprising, because although these have a good amount of hot oxygen depleted air that comes up through the breather bolts into the intake, and we're rerouting it, is not near as much as on the twin cams or the Sportsters on the M8s. But there's still some. And I thought I was dripping oil, and what it was just water. It was from the different temperatures, very humid air that we were riding through. There'd been a lot of condensation, I guess, in the lines, and it was dripping some water out. Mary's loving her new foot position with her FB16 floorboard, passenger floorboard relocators. She says it makes a big difference. She has hers adjusted about a half an inch higher than the highest stock position, and 3/8 of an inch back and an inch out. So it's a significantly different foot position. Of course, she has over 100,000 miles riding on the back of a trike, so she well knows what foot position she was in before, and she likes this one a lot better. Gets her thighs up off of the grab handles, much more comfortable. Of course, the tank lift's been working good, the cooling deflector wings. I have my Power Vision installed. No flash. I'm running the stock tune with the stock exhaust and the stage 1 air cleaner. I'm still running the stock plug wires too. I wanted to get those changed before we left. I just didn't have the time to do it. GPS has been working well for the most part. I had a little bit of a glitchy area up near Twilling Gate, where it showed the arrow on a different location than the route I was actually traveling, and it did it on the way up to Twilling Gate in the same general area, I think on the New World Island, and it did it on the way back in the same area. So something in the programming, it was unique to that area. Also, when we were in Bedeck and met with Jerry, I was searching and putting in an address into the GPS, and it wasn't calculating, and I just put it in as a waypoint, and then it would calculate. But then ever since then it's been working fine. I really like how it comes up much faster. I like how I can pinch or spread the screen. I like how I can put in a waypoint manually just by touching a spot on the screen and adding that as a waypoint. Much better than previous GPS on the 14. And in fact, it does some stuff that other folks said their Garmin won't do. So I'm liking that. The ride is smooth, it's comfortable. Everything's been working great on it. My highway pegs are great. My floorboard extensions are great. I do wish I'd had the time to put on my extended brake lever. It's a little, you know, in the stock position is not quite as comfortable. But everything's been working well. One thing I didn't mention in my upgrade is I put these ISO grips on. I've run them on all my bikes, and they're just really comfortable, especially for the long haul. You know, 8, 10, 12-hour days, that make a real difference. Drink holders doing what it's supposed to do. Tour pack rack we put on right before we left, and it's working well with the little hooks in the corners. We've been using the power point in the tour pack quite a bit, and it's doing what it's supposed to do. Haven't had the trunk pop open once, so that's nice. On the 14 I had it pop open a few times, had to adjust it. I actually had to adjust this when I first got it. It wasn't right before we picked it up, and then the Harley tech, not a mechanic. Mechanics actually understand why they're doing what they're doing, figure things out. Techs don't seem much inclined to know really why they're doing what they're doing. Anyway, the Harley tech, quote unquote, adjusted it, and of course it was still popping open because they didn't do it right. So I adjusted it when I got it, and it hasn't popped open since. Everything's working well. I did forget my waterless wash, so I've just been accumulating dust, dirt, mud on the trike ever since we left Bedeck. I'll probably clean it when we get back to Bedeck. So that's what's going on as we ride toward Rocky Harbor in the Grossmorn National Park of the island of Newfoundland. Two more things to add to the update. I guess this is around a 2,500 mile update. Is that I got a Saddleman seat cover. We run with the sheepskin. It's much more comfortable, cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. Just really comfortable to ride on it. And I got a Saddleman cover. We've been using a plastic trash bag that we just put around the backrest and scrunch the sheepskin up all around it. And then if it rains hard or easy, it keeps that sheepskin dry. So I got the rain cover for the seat. We put 2 coats of tint sealer on it. Tested it out a few times before we left on the trip in a light medium rain. Didn't leak at all. And then a few days ago, maybe about a week ago, it poured rain all night, and we came out and it had leaked, and the sheepskin was soaking wet all the way through. I mean, just soaking wet, not a little wet. It was horrible. We had to take the backrest off, take the sheepskin off, put the backrest back on, and it took all day and a little bit of the next day for that sheepskin to completely dry out. And we've gone back to using a plastic trash bag because they don't leak. It's plastic, it doesn't leak. So unfortunately, even though it's easier to put, it looks nicer and easier to put the, look at that big mountain. Easier to put the seat cover on, it just doesn't work in a heavy rain. And so that's one thing. The other thing is the Mighty Mites, I run them pretty much 100% of the time. They're on a manual switch, and I just turn them on when I start up the bike, and when I shut off the bike. If it's been hot, I'll let them run for a few minutes before I shut them off. And they've been working like a champ, keeping the cylinder head temperatures down. And you can see the link below on the heat testing we did with and without the fans. So everything's working well. Very pleased with it. Very comfortable. Like the M8 power. Of course, we haven't fully exploited it. Still running the stock exhaust. And not sure what exhaust I'm going to put on it. But whatever it is, they'll have the Thunder Torque inserts in them. And that's going to give us a nice little bump in torque. And so that's it on the update for how the trike is doing. Running great, riding great, and we're coming up to, looks like a lake on the right, no, on the left, and a river on the right. So let's see what that looks like. Hey folks, if you liked this video or you found it useful, please give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, give us a thumbs down. Please hit the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. And if you'd like to see each new video as it comes out, hit the notification bell and you'll get notified each time we put out a new video. Also, if you could leave us a comment below telling us what you like, telling us your suggestions or thoughts for new videos, we'd appreciate it.